Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Leverton on Everything podcast. Uh, I had a thought the other day. I am getting older, and it used to be that I was much more accepting of different slang terms and that language evolves because language does evolve, it doesn't stay the same. But I think I've gotten to a point where I would like it to stop evolving, at least when we talk about English. So now I'm going to do a bit of an experiment, and I'm going to read an article and react to it live. And the article is called, what is it called? 65 Gen Alpha Words and Meanings. And I'm going to tell you, in my own personal experience, if these words are useful, if they're unique, and if I know what they mean, and if I think that they're a real thing or not. So if you're from Gen Alpha and you're watching this video and I say some things that I think aren't real, you can argue with me and you can say, "Oh yeah, we say that all the time." Or if you have kids who are Gen Alpha, then you could impine, you could tell me your opinion about those things. Impine, is that a word? That sounds like my son had a very good point the other day. He was like, "Yeah, Gen Alpha slang is weird, but wasn't all language originally slang? Like somebody invented it once," which is a good point. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point of the video is to rage bait myself. Let's see if that one's on the list. Okay, the first one, brain rot. That actually makes sense. It's a good word, I would say. It's if you don't know what it means, it just means like it's a negative impact you get when you watch too much fast-paced and low quality content, according to this article, which is from Your Teen Mag, Family Life. Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's necessary. Maybe that's what they mean, like fast-paced, low-quality content. I would just say it's low-quality content. Stuff that's just there to occupy your brain, but not actually engage it. Okay, chicken jockey. Yeah, I know what that means. My son really likes Minecraft, so he watched the Minecraft movie, so I know what it means. Ohio. So their definition of Ohio is the word Ohio is used as an insult to describe something very bad or cringe. I don't think that's actually correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ohio comes from a Roblox game called Ohio, and the game is just very strange. So it's kind of like a meme that strange things happen in Ohio, even though Ohio is normal place as anywhere else. Glizzy could mean a gun, hot dog, or male genitalia, depending on the context. Never heard of it, and I think I think it has too many meanings. That could be very confusing. Like, give me a glizzy? I mean, no. Crash out. To get uncontrollably upset or act in a destructive manner. I don't think that's a Gen Alpha thing. That's just a thing. Huzz, a derogatory way to refer to a group of women. Never heard about it. Chopped, someone who is ugly or unattractive. Well, that's weird because I think it's too close to the word cut. So if you say that somebody is cut, they're like they have well-defined muscles. I can understand why a chopped would mean ugly, like you're chopped up. Chuz, short for chopped huzz, which basically means unattractive women. Bruz, a group of guy friends. Gruz, a derogatory term used to describe old people. I think that's what I should call this video. Gruz reads alpha. Gen alpha slang. Skibbity is used to describe something absurd or chaotic. It can also be used as a nonsense word. Well, I think that it's connected to a specific thing. It's connected to this Skibbity Toilet YouTube series. Yeah, it's not just a random piece of slang. I don't think it means anything outside of that reference. Yo chat. Refer to a group of people or audience. I never heard that anyone say that in real life, unless they were actually chatting. Fine shite. How's that new? Fam. Someone very close to you, short for family. How is that new? Yet. Most commonly used when admiring someone's large and curvy bottom. And sweat. Typically used when someone has done really well. How would that even work? Like, oh, sweat. Like, weird. And gyat is, I don't think, well, I don't know, but I don't think gyat is connected to somebody's bottom. It's just like an expression, like gyat. I'm not saying bottom. Sigma. A sigma is a male who's confident and dominant. It's above alpha male, which is kind of funny. A bit of a digression. There is no such thing as alpha wolves, which people take the idea of alpha males from. But there is such a thing as alpha chimpanzees and more chimpanzees. And we're much more close to chimpanzees than wolves. So I don't think that alpha male thing is great, but I think it does have some basis in biology, unfortunately. Like, and I don't think, like, when people talk about alpha males, the actual alpha males are not the alpha males that say that they're alpha males. Let's just say it that way. It's like people who have influence in their social groups, whoever that is. It could be the loudest, strongest guy, or it could just be the guy that everybody likes. Or a woman that everybody likes. I don't know. What the sigma? My son does say that, but I think he says it in a mocking way. Mewing. Exercises to improve one's jawline. That's not a real thing. People don't mew. I mean, maybe they do, but like, is it so common that people talk about it in Gen Alpha? Looks maxing. Looks maxing describes the act of doing things to improve one's appearance. Cooked. When somebody gets in trouble or has reached a dead end. I didn't study for the quiz. I'm cooked. How is that new? People have been saying that for years. I'm cooked. I'm in trouble. I'm in deep doo-doo. Phantom tax. The act of stealing somebody's food. Weird. Sus. Short for suspicious. I think that comes from Among Us, actually. Because, you know, it is suspicious, but sus, Among Us, sus. And I think it's interesting how a lot of these expressions are connected to the media that was popular, when Gen Alpha was growing up. Which is not weird because obviously the media affects every generation. Ballerina cappuccina. Often referred to as an Italian version of brain rot. Yeah, that's not an expression, that's just a thing that exists. So cap and no cap. So cap is exaggerate and no cap is to lie. I think that's like older people actually would say that than Gen Alpha. Like, Gen Z people. So, aura. Overall coolness or vibe. He just has a natural aura. Aura points. The units of measurement for someone's aura. When someone does something uncool, they lose aura points. And negative aura, describes someone who is very uncool, awkward, or cringe. I I've heard that more online than in real life, and mostly when people are making stupid memes like aura farming or whatever. I don't think people really use it. I think like people maybe I think that I think these things are not necessarily people things that people say, although some of them are. I think it's more like kind of meme language, right? Like how people communicate about memes and shorts and stuff. It's not exactly everyone saying low tapper fade to use to hype or compliment somebody's appearance. Low tapper fade is a common haircut for teen boys. Bruh. It's an exaggerated way of saying bro. Okay, yeah, people say that. Bruh. But I think people have been saying that a long time. 8. Use when somebody does something really well, especially in fashion, dance, or a comeback. She ate that outfit. See, I have a feeling like this could be 100% a thing, but this is what I meant in my introduction. Like, if somebody said, you ate that outfit, I would be like, what? What do you mean? I did not eat it. I am wearing it right here. I don't know. Rizzler, someone who has a lot of riz. Somebody who's really smooth or caring, and riz for charisma. Someone who has charm or is good at flirting. If someone has riz, it means they're good at attracting romantic partners. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think that this is a Gen Alpha thing. I think that this is more like what was that called? A pickup artist thing, because they also created this like language which was full of shortcuts so people wouldn't know that what they were talking about. Zang, an expression of surprise or amazement, often used when something unexpected happens. Bet, way of saying okay or sure. Yeah, I've heard this before. Like, want to go to the restaurant? Bet. Like, it's just a short form for you bet. And then yeet, a fun word used when throwing something with energy or to show excitement. I think it's just throwing. You yeet something. And that's not really Gen Alpha also. Yeet. I don't know where it comes from, but okay, now I'm curious if where does yeet come from? Hold on. Not yet. Yeet. Gen Z, not Gen Alpha. Where does it come from? Oh, no one knows. So that's more Gen Z. A low key. That's also. I low key love that song. That's also not Gen Alpha. It's not even Gen Z. I think that's from my generation. Delulu, short for delusional, used when somebody believes in something that's clearly not true. I'm not sure. I think Delulu, I know for sure that I heard it in Teen Titans Go like 10 years ago. So I don't think that it's a Gen Alpha thing. Simp, somebody who does too much for someone they like, often trying too hard to impress them. I think that's more like somebody who has maybe an unhealthy obsession with somebody, especially in a fan context. ICL, I can't lie. Okay, never heard that. TSPMO, never heard that. This shit is pissing me off. Ick, a sudden turnoff or something that makes you lose interest in someone. When something is a turnoff for you, you'd say that gave me the ick. That's not Gen Alpha. That's like way older than Gen Alpha. But it's like Gen Z, older Gen Z, I would say. Cringe, Something awkward. Yeah, that's 100%. Oh yeah. It's not just a Gen Alpha thing, it's also used by Gen Z and even millennials. So maybe what's happening is that you have the older generation has this slang, and then so the younger generations hear it, and it's not quite old fashioned yet. Whereas, like, the slang that I would use would be old fashioned, and people would go, Gruz! What are you doing? Don't say that, Gruz. But then the other slang, like ick or cringe, is not quite to the point where it's old fashioned anymore. Op, short for opponent. Savage, someone who's bold, fierce, or brutally honest. Uh, Took an L. Again, I don't think that's a Gen Alpha thing. Twin. Okay. A close friend that you really relate to or match with in style or personality. A closer version of bro and often used to describe your best friend. Okay, maybe I'm lost here a bit, but like if you called your best friend a twin, I would say that that would mean much more than being like a best friend. Like you look the same, you act the same. So I think it's really specific. Oh, this is so dumb. Number 49. Okay, so this is all about Gen Alpha. This is a great sentence. This is all about Gen Alpha, remember. Used to describe the vibe or energy something has. Example, it's giving Miami Vice. How would Gen Alpha know what Miami Vice is? Millennials barely know what Miami Vice is. That's my thing. That's like a Gen X thing. Boomer thing. Wow. Not gonna lie. That's 100% not Gen Alpha. That's from a sketch that Dana Carvey did about George Bush Sr. when he was saying, not gonna lie, not gonna lie, not gonna lie, not gonna do it, not gonna do it. That was a bad impersonation. Mother, an iconic and attractive feminine figure. I think that's connected to Lady Gaga and not anybody else, but maybe I'm wrong. Clock your tea. Insult somebody. Gagged. To be amazed or stunned by something. Yapper. Somebody who talks too much. That's not new. That's probably like Shakespeare time. Sheesh. A word to show surprise or something that's really impressive. That's also not new. Mad lit. Something's really fun, exciting, or amazing. Mad means very and lit means cool. Mad lit. Okay, that could be new. A vibe. The feeling or mood something gives off. For example, this song has a chill vibe. How? That is from the 60s. You know? Good vibrations. A chill vibe. I'm picking up good vibrations. To kind of get me excitations. Good vibrations. Yeah. Drip. Okay, that one's new, I think. Slang for stylish clothes or accessories. If somebody has drip, they have a cool or fashionable look. For the streets. A demeaning term used to describe somebody who's undesirable due to their promiscuity. Maybe. Oh, this is something I don't understand. Glazing. And I heard this online a lot, like, quit glazing, man. When somebody's giving too much praise to someone else and it becomes cringe. Yeah, there was somebody who was talking about Mr. Beast and they didn't understand the controversies connected to Mr. Beast. And so the criticism was that the person was glazing. And isn't there like perfectly acceptable words for that? Like being a sycophant or, being naive? I don't know if people would say, being naive or whatever. I hope I didn't like put a bit of snot. I feel like I have a bit of a runny nose, and I hope that there was no snot on camera. Touch grass, a way of telling somebody they're chronically online and should go outside. Yep. Mogging, to look significantly better than someone else. Dog water. Okay, I don't know if that's true, but I like it. Dog water, used to describe something of very low quality. This is dog water. I like it. I like it a lot. Slay. She slayed that outfit. Yeah, that's not a new thing, I'd say. Bussin', used to describe food that tastes really good. This pizza is bussin'. Yeah, I would say I didn't do any statistics on that list of 64 Gen Alpha things, but mostly I would say that it's things that Gen Alpha just said because they learned from other generations, and then it's a few specific things connected to meme culture. I don't think that people say skibbity that means anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a reference. And then you have things that are like legitimate new expressions like glazing, which might stick around because they are very specific, but of course they're replacing or supplementing other forms of expression. Okay, what do you think? What do you think is the best Gen Alpha expression? Do you believe any of those things really exist? Do you say any of them? Do your children say any of them? Yes. Do you feel like I feel like sometimes you're living in a world that is hard to understand because language keeps changing? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.